Grading exams is probably one of the most tedious and time-consuming activities you do. If you're spending hours of your free time grading questions that could easily be done by a computer, it's time to let Moodle do that instantly for you. Not only is it quick, but you'll get the information you need to pin down exactly what your class is strong with and needs review with. Let's get started. So today we're going to talk about how you can use Examview, which is an application you've probably made a few tests with. Get those tests into Moodle so you can get instantaneous grading. To do that, it's going to be 4 steps. Let's get started. First, we're going to do is we're going to export your Examview test as a Blackboard 6-7 test. Now, the way Moodle will treat these tests is they'll treat them as a question bank rather than a test. So when you're importing a test into Moodle from Examview, you are importing a question bank. So what we have to do is once we have that question bank inside of Moodle, we create a new quiz activity in Moodle. Then we're going to import that test from Examview as a quiz bank into Moodle. And then we're going to add all the questions from that bank to your Moodle test. And that's it. We're ready to go, and it's going to grade for you very, very quickly. So let's head over to Moodle now. This is a kind of blank, sort of pre-filled tutorial type of course here, and I'm going to show you how to import this quiz right now. So the first thing, let's go and bring up our Examview test generator. Here I have an Examview test already made up. What I'm going to do is, you can't see this, but I'm going to go to File at the very top. Now you should be able to see this. I'm going to click Export, and I'm going to choose Blackboard 6-7. That's very important, Blackboard 6-7. Select that, and you'll be asked to give a file name here. So I'm going to call this chapter1.zip, and I'm going to store it on my desktop just to make it easy to find. So when I do that, I click Export. Next thing I need to do is fill in a little bit of information here. This is actually really important, the name and the directory name that I use. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill in the name with Chapter 1. Now this name here is important because when I import this test into Moodle, it's going to use this as the quiz bank name. Now for the directory name, I'm going to use something real short, Chapter 1. Okay, now it is exported. We're actually done. You can see on my desktop right here, this is the file that was created. And now I'm going to head over to Moodle again. And first thing, I'm going to, on this course page, I'm going to click this green button. This is how we add all new activities. All right, at this point in time, we have tutorial demonstration section. This is where I want to put the quiz. And I'm going to click Add an Activity or Resource. So I click the green button, Add an Activity or Resource. I'm going to choose from the activity list Quiz. And since this is going to be Chapter 1, I'm going to go with Chapter 1 Quiz as the name. Now, for the rest of these items here, you can go and play around with them. There's actually question marks next to every single option. So if you want to really tailor your test for a very specific situation, whether you want to add passwords to it or you want to use it just for review purposes, if you want to use it as part of a sequence of tests that students have to pass, if you want to add competencies, those are kind of like your course outcomes, and align it to that, you can do that as well. What I'm going to do is just go to Save and Display. Click that. All right, now at this point in time, Chapter 1 quiz is created, but you can see there's no questions that actually are part of this quiz. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and import the Moodle question bank now. So to do that, I go to Question Bank on the Course Administration section. I'm going to expand that, and I'm going to go to Import. So Question Bank, Import. Now what we're looking to do is take that file from Examview that we created on the desktop and import it. So I'm going to choose Blackboard as the format. And for now, I'm going to show you this section here. It's usually not expanded, but if you wanted to have your own categories that you add these questions to, you can manage under Question Bank. You can manage the categories that are created for your question banks, and this is primarily for your own organization purposes. But for now, we're actually going to get the category from the file and leave everything exactly like it is by default. So I'm going to minimize that part again, and then the last thing we need to do is choose the file. So I'm going to go looking off of my desktop. So upload a file, attachment. I'm going to go on my desktop and pick chapter1.zip. So that's the file we created. Click upload this file. Okay, there it is. Last step is import. And what it's going to do is going to open up that file from Examview, and it finds 35 questions in the file. So you can kind of go through and review, make sure they're what you expected. I'm going to continue. All right, at this point in time now, I have a question bank called Chapter 1 with 35 questions in. So I'm going to go back to my main course page here, back to my Chapter 1 quiz. I'm going to go to Edit, Edit Settings, and there we go. There's our quiz. I'm also going to choose Edit Quiz now. Edit Quiz. Now this is going to give me the opportunity from the Editing Quiz section to add all the questions that I want. So I'm going to actually click Add from, so if you see this, Add from a question bank. And then what I'll do is when it brings up this option to select the question bank category, I'm going to choose Chapter 1, which was just created. Now remember, that name, Chapter 1, comes from in Examview. When we went to export the exam, we chose Chapter 1 as the name. So that's why that's there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show all the questions. If you, by default, have show 20 per page, you can select all your questions this way. If you click Show All, and I'm just going to select everything all at once. We're going to add everything. On the bottom, add selected questions to the quiz. Okay. By default, it'll actually put one question per page. If you don't like that, you can easily change it by clicking Repaginate. And we can select a certain number, any number of questions per page that you want. So let's set 15 questions per page. Hit Go. And now you're going to have page 1 with all these questions, page 2, page 3. Nice and simple, and that's it. If you want to go and scale the grade to something in particular, you can actually set that here. So no matter how many questions you pick, if you want it to be a 45-point quiz, set that number here, click Save, and that's it. That's how you get an Examview test into Moodle. Good luck. If you have any questions or need help, shoot me an email, tanzosm@eastonsd.org, and I'll give you a hand. Good luck.